What's up, fam? We're back with another mobility routine, and today we're going to be focusing on upper body, primarily really working on the shoulders and the lats. So we have about 6 movements that I'm going to run through, and this is something that I recommend doing pretty much every upper body day. But if you have the time to do these mobility movements every single day to some capacity, it's greatly going to impact your performance within as little as about 2 weeks. So just as with our lower body, our hip mobility routine, which you can also check out on my channel, this is something that you can do as much as or as little as you want to. But again, the more consistent you are with it, the better results you're going to see. So the reason why mobility is so important is because you want to be able to move within your full range of motion for any given movement, right? When we are really warming up within the full range of motion, full ROM, we are allowing the synovial fluid within the joint to basically lubricate the joint capsule. It's just going to feel a lot better when you are moving within your full range of motion and warming up within your full range of motion. It's safer, and like I said, it feels better, it's more effective, trolley lolly la. You don't really need any equipment to do this. You can have a foam roller, a PVC pipe, any kind of like broomstick totally works. I do recommend investing in a foam roller though, especially for all of your mobility needs. Just get a cheap one off of Amazon. I'll link one in the description. Make sure it is long and make sure it has something that is like, it's sturdy. You don't want it to be cushiony or soft really. You want it to have enough resistance to give back, or to give enough pressure to allow you to apply enough pressure to whatever muscles you're trying to roll out. So after about like 5 to 7 minutes of a cardio warm up, you can walk on a treadmill, do whatever feels good. Come and grab a foam roller and roll out your triceps and your lats. I'm not gonna tell you that it's gonna be a good time. It can be kind of painful, but it can very much help in pushing and pulling movements to really roll out the muscles here. So all you're gonna do is just apply light pressure to the tricep. If you lengthen the arm, I find that this feels a little bit more rough than when you have your elbow flexed and the tricep contracted. But be really gentle here, be really easy. You can easily bruise within this area if you're going a little bit too hard. So whatever you do, just take your time, be gentle with it. After you've rolled out your tricep, move down into your lat. Again, this is something that can be pretty painful, so take your time with it, be gentle with it. If you don't feel anything, lucky you, that's great, but I definitely recommend doing it at least before your upper body days, just to help, loosen up everything, help you feel like you're ready to go and work within that full range of motion. Like I said, really want to concentrate all the way down your side of your ribs here, right? And all the way up to the top. You can change the position of your body as you work through it. And again, just take your time, move nice and slow. If you're going back and forth like this super fast, it's not really gonna do much for you. Another thing you can do to help stretch out the lats is you can actually do this kind of pinning movement. So with your arm relaxed on the foam roller, find a little bit of like a sensitive area here on your lats. You're going to pin it by resting your weight here on the foam roller, and then you're going to lift this arm up. And basically what you're doing here, like I said, is pinning the muscle down. Imagine like, a string or rubber band. If you pin one piece down and then you stretch the rest of it, it's going to stretch, right? There's going to be a little bit more of that elasticity. You're kind of doing the same thing with the muscle. You're pinning it in place, and then you're moving the muscle a little bit just to create a bit of that stretch, increase overall mobility of the muscle within its range of motion. As always, be very gentle here, be very careful. You can get into some sticky points, like even right here, sensitive for me there. So I'm gonna be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more soft. I'm not gonna yank my arm up to the ceiling. And definitely recommend with that one, maybe 2-3 times per week. The reason why you need a longer foam roller is because to the best of your ability, you want to get your entire spine on the foam roller for this one. You have your tailbone supported as well as the back of your head if you can. And you're really going to try to push that lower back into the foam roller so you're making contact with it. Like I said, tailbone all the way to the top of your head. You can also look down a little bit, work on those neck muscles, and then you're going to snow angel out to the side and up. If you can, all the way back down. Okay, take it nice and slow. You'll probably feel that stretch all through your pecs right here, maybe a little bit in your shoulders. This is great for shoulder mobility. And as you come up to the top, you're going to notice that it gets a lot harder. You might feel a stretch underneath right here. Again, don't force it. Take your time. Try to keep your wrists flat on the mat if possible, but really only go within the range of motion that feels comfortable for you. Maybe a little bit more to get that stretch in, but again, don't yank it. Be gentle with yourself. Do like 10 reps of nice, slow snow angels to really get that stretch, and make sure that lower back is in contact the whole time. So next one is a lat stretch. Again, be careful with this one. It can be a little intense. If you have a broomstick, PVC pipe, any kind of pole that you can hold on to is going to be really helpful. You want to do this just about shoulder width apart. You can use a bench at the gym. You can use a chair. Just make sure you have a little bit of space to move beyond it. So elbows are positioned on the bench. You're going to try to move your hips away from your elbows, okay? What we're trying to do here is get the lat to stretch all the way down. Because of the way the lat is, if you're not holding on to something, as you do this, your hands are gonna wanna naturally turn in, okay? So forcing the hands to stay in position is what helps us get that lat stretch. You're gonna kind of protract a little into this as well. I'd say if you're kind of shrugged up here, it might be harder to feel the stretch. So relax into the movement, push away from it a little bit, and then slowly move your hips back. You can allow your head to kind of sink down a little bit and just slowly sit into the stretch. I also like to kind of play with the curvature of my spine at the top. So really just depressing the spine a little bit and then rounding it up a little bit, nice and slow, helps you kind of feel through the stretch. And the last thing you can do to increase the stretch is to bring that pole down behind your head. That's gonna really finish it off for you. You'll definitely feel that. Again, nice and slow, steady movements here. You can do that one probably every day for a couple rounds of like 10 seconds. It'll feel pretty good. So, little disclaimer here, I am a personal trainer, but I am not a physical therapist. I highly recommend investing your time and money into working with really good physical therapists, people who can help diagnose pain and work with you through chronic issues. These stretches are really meant to be in sports-specific situations to help you, again, have better range of motion and feel better in your workouts, and not necessarily to help you solve your aches and pains. So 10 out of 10, recommend working with a physical therapist, and I really hope that outside of that, these stretches are very helpful for you. We'll see you in the next video.